Good morning, y'all. It is November 16th, and today starts the new series. This will not be out until, I don't know the date, but once I figure that out, I will put it up in here somewhere. Right now, I'm putting some oil on my hair. I started this series to be therapeutic for myself, but first I'm about to go do my daughter's hair, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys. All right, y'all. Hey, y'all. So I know it's dark, so we are on the way dropping baby girl off. And she's asleep right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish a clip for you guys. So the reason that I started this series, if you guys hear the radio in the background, sorry about that. But the reason why I started this series is to shine light on that normal people like me go through depression too. And instead of holding it in, like, I see this as like a therapeutic part for me. I see this working out for me as in coping in the long run, and also to help other people going through the same thing that I'm going through the same feelings and insecurities that I go through, and also show you guys my process from me going through it, me being down in the dumps, and then me rebuilding myself and getting better, basically, for me. So I want you guys to come along in this series and enjoy with me, and just learn a little bit more about me. Like I said, sorry that it's dark, but it should be getting light outside in a few. So I think I'm going to finish this first video of the series in the car while we're on our way to work. All right, y'all, I'm back. So it's 6:40 right now. So first of all, if you're not 18 and older, please exit this video now, okay? So that's just a fair warning, only because I don't feel like this part of the channel, this content, is for younger audiences. So that's why I said that. So you enter at your own risk. So my name is Jamaica. Some people call me J. Marie. Some people call me Mika. I am a 24-year-old wife and mother. Basically, coming up as a child, I've always, first I'm going to start off like my insecurities, just so y'all can get the whole picture of what's going on with this series. Basically, as a child, I always had a fear of abandonment. So now that I'm an adult, it's like things that happened in my childhood that as an adult, my fear of abandonment is like, like it just spills over into my life now, basically. So say for instance, stuff that was present in me as a young child, it's like affecting me and how I live and how I go about my relationship, and it affects a lot of things, basically. It affects my relationships with people, friends, in my marriage. Like, it affects a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because even though I have these insecurities, I'm grateful that I can work through these issues with my husband, because in me, everybody is not perfect, but I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you guys the part of me that I've been dealing with, that it's the darker side. Normally I'm happy, go lucky, and just recently some things have developed in my life that has made it harder for me to cope with a lot of things. And it still affects me, but hey, it is. So, to start this series off, the story time is going to be the next video. But to start this video off, basically, I didn't have a father figure, okay? And I don't want y'all to think, okay, it's another female with daddy issues. But it's true. I didn't have that father figure, and I feel like it's very important, which I'm so happy that no matter what me and my husband go through, he's present here in the house with our daughter. Because I am very fearful that whatever I went through as a child, or in that mental state that I was in, feeling like nobody loved me, feeling like nobody wanted me, feeling like nobody cared, it was very hurtful and a hard pill to swallow. And also, it has affected basically how I feel to this day as an adult, basically. Now me and my father, we are working on a relationship, but still at the same time, even though we're working on a relationship, it still doesn't help how I feel as an adult. It doesn't, because he wasn't there as a child, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Things happen with parents, so I can't really put blame on myself as the blame for that. But at the same time, it's like I wish things were different. Knowing as a child that you have siblings, and the parents part of it doesn't want the sibling a part of the other siblings' lives, is a hard pill to swallow. I now have a 10-year-old sister that I cannot physically see, just talk to her because of the parenting part. I am 24, so of course I want to be in my sister's life. I want her to know her niece, and my 28-year-old sister just found me recently, and that was a big hole in my heart, because on my mom's side, I'm the only child. She said she was one and done. That's it. So that was a big void for me. I felt alone. I felt like, woe is me. And this is as a child, y'all, not as an adult. As a child, I had to fight through, why do I feel so lonely, you know? And everybody says, oh, it's the being the only child syndrome. Okay. But the feeling of, why doesn't my father love me enough to want to talk to me? Or why is this relationship that he's in more important than having a relationship with his child? That's the stuff that at the age of 7, I was trying to understand. Then I had other father figures, like godfathers and stuff like that, only to turn around and disappoint. And mind you, even though I'm going through like a dry run of a story, the actual story time for each person is coming, okay? It is coming. So it was a hard pill to swallow, you know. And me, I pride myself on respecting. You know, I don't care how mad I get at my mom. I'm never going to sit back and watch her get disrespected, ever. Just put that out. I'm never going to, ever. But the processing of everything is like, so when I started to date and everything, I basically carried all of those issues and tried to perceive what was love. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have that father figure to show me this is what somebody's supposed to treat you like, XYZ. And guess what? I was doing it all in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking for love in all the wrong places. Every time that I had a relationship or was talking to somebody, it never worked out. Now, when I got with my husband, on the other hand, I told myself, like, this is it. I don't want to date anymore. I know what I want. I really like him. You know, I just wanted it to work, period. Because he was cool. You know, the vibing, the chemistry was good. I felt like I had a best friend. I felt like everything that I was missing in my brain as a child up until, you know, late teenage years, going into my early 20s, I felt like this is it. This is it. So then, as an adult, start having issues in your relationship is like, dang, like, I feel like these feelings all over again, like abandonment, not being loved, not feeling like I'm being wanted, trying to do everything to make that person happy, and it's still not happy. Like, that's how I was feeling. To where when we get past with whatever we're going through, it's like it's still hard for me to believe anything anybody says to me. You see what I'm saying? Because of I'm an overthinker. I overthink things. My sign is a Gemini, so we like to overthink things a lot. We like to perceive things, even though all the signs are saying, okay, you can be happy because nothing bad is happening. But because we've been through a lot, or because I've been through a lot, and the way my overthinking process is, just because the signs are saying, okay, everything is good now, I don't feel like things are going to be good. I feel like other stuff is going to happen that makes it bad. So I feel like that's another thing that I need to work on. I feel like it's a self-sabotaging spirit. I don't know why I do it. I just try to protect myself at any cost. And that's with friendships, relationships, family members now. I shut myself out from people. Because I don't want to deal with it. Like, I try to deal with it, but I can't. I'm a very emotional person. I cry basically over everything, especially if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm feeling like misunderstood, or if I feel like I'm downright being disrespected, because I have changed a lot. I used to be like a wrecking ball. I'll just blow up, like, without no type of warning or anything like that. So now trying to control that is hard, because like, when I can't control it, I cry. And everybody feel like because I'm crying, I'm upset or whatever. No, I'm just really trying to keep my anger on a P's and Q's level. And nobody understands that. Nobody understands that. And the issues that I have is communicating. If I'm not over something, I'm going to keep talking about it. Like, I'm going to keep talking about it until somebody really gets it, or freaking understands, excuse my French, but freaking understands that, hey, this is very hurtful. This is what's hurting me. And if you can't acknowledge that, okay, it was wrong, or whatever the case may be, or if you can't acknowledge, yes, I could have did something better, or whatever the case may be, it irritates me. And I will keep talking about it. And that's the issue that I'm having now in, like, relationships with, like, communicating with my family. Like, it bothers me, and I try so hard not to say anything. And again, I have to put out the disclaimer. This is not to bash or put anybody down. It is to simply vent and to heal myself and pay attention to myself, because I have how can I say this? I have a tendency, there you go, that's the word. I have a tendency to worry about everybody else's feelings except my own. I have a tendency to censor myself in the way that I feel to protect everybody around. And it doesn't matter if we're just friends, foe, family, mama, sister, brother, whatever. Whoever you are, if I care about you, I am going to censor myself, not tell you how I really truly feel, just so no conflict will be caused. I hate drama, so I'm not in the business of having drama. Like, I'm not in the business of that. So I say all this to say, you guys who are out there going through depression, anxiety, or whatever you go through, you're not alone. I want to bring this series is to bring awareness to all of those issues, the feeling of abandonment, the feeling of discernment, the feeling of not being loved and unwanted. Hey, if any of my subscribers out there feel like that, you are loved. I love you. If you feel like nobody else love you, I love you. If you feel like nobody else is there for you, I'm there for you. If you have my Instagram or you feel this way, you can reach out and DM me in my Instagram, because I would tell you, like, self-love is the best love you can give yourself. And I am 24 years old and I'm just learning that. I'm just learning that the best love is self-love. So basically, after this mini series of the story times and telling you guys every story leading up until basically the biggest breakdown of my life, like, I'm only going to tell the important story times up until the biggest one of my life that really broke me down. Basically, it broke me, and it's breaking me still, because I'm still not over it. You know what I'm saying? And hey, it is what it is. But the next phase of this series is showing you guys the confidence rebuilding part. And that is because I don't like the way that I look. I'm going to do something about it. That's one. For two, I am going to love on myself. That means when I have extra money or whatever, I'm going to treat myself with something. But that's the second phase. But the first phase is I'm going to self-love on myself. And I'm going to get something right that I don't like about myself. I'm going to get it right. For me. Nobody else. Just me. And that's the weight loss part. I know you guys have heard me talk about it before. That is the weight loss part. My husband, on the other hand, he doesn't feel as though that I do need to lose a lot of weight or whatever the case may be. But I have talked to him and let him know, like, this is not for any other purposes other than to help me feel better. If I don't like something about myself, I want to change it. So I'm going to take you guys with me every step of the way. Like, every step of the way. So the mini series is going to happen real fast, because it's not that many stories. I'm just telling you guys right now, it's not that many stories. But the stories I do tell is some of the stories that are that's really impacting my life at this point. I am going to choose what I share. Like I told you guys before, I'm not going to share everything, but I'm choosing what I share because I feel like the stories that I'm going to tell are the ones that you can really feel like, dang, this is why she feels like this. And whoever else that watches that's in my family, at this point, I really don't care. I'm sorry that I have to say it like that, but I'm doing it for me. It's not to hurt anybody. It's not to make anybody upset. If you feel upset after watching this series, hey, then that means you probably one of the ones that made me feel this way. So that's just how I'm checking it at this point. I am I'm just documenting my healing process from everything. Like, I'm ready to close this chapter of my life. I'm ready to help it not affect my marriage and how I treat my husband, because you don't know. You have a habit of, no matter what, You don't think you're doing it, but you have a habit of projecting whatever you're feeling from past situations or present situations onto the person that you're with. No matter what y'all actually go through, but it could be parts of old pieces that you haven't closed that can be projected onto that relationship. So this introduction of the series is over. I'm about to be at work, so I will catch you guys in the first story time, y'all. The very first story time. And I hope you guys really enjoy this series, and I hope you guys enjoy coming along with me with this series, y'all. I love you guys so very much, and I'll talk to you guys later.